Hi boys and girls, how are you? I have a story to read to you called The Tale of Peter Rabbit. And it's about Peter Rabbit, who was quite naughty and didn't listen to Mama Rabbit and got caught in Mr. McGregor's garden. So it's a G word, garden. Here we go. Once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits, Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. They lived with their mother under the root of a big tree. There they are. Peter has the blue coat on. Now, said Mrs. Rabbit one morning, you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail went down the lane to pick blackberries, but Peter, who was very naughty, ran straight to Mr. McGregor's garden. Didn't Mama Rabbit tell him to stay out of there? First he ate some lettuces and some beans, and then he ate some radishes. Then he felt rather sick. Turning a corner, who should Peter meet but Mr. McGregor? He jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling, "Stop, thief!" Peter was very frightened. He rushed all over the garden and lost both his shoes. Then he tripped and got caught in a net. There's Mr. McGregor and Peter running off. He's being chased. Some friendly sparrows flew down to help him. Mr. McGregor came up, but Peter wriggled free just in time, leaving his jacket behind him. He got caught in the net and he couldn't take it with him. He rushed into the tool shed and hid in a watering can. Then he sneezed, "Kerchoo!" and Mr. McGregor was after him again. Peter leapt out of a window, knocking over 3 plants. The window was too small for Mr. McGregor to get through. Mr. McGregor went back to his work, and Peter was alone again. But he was very frightened, and he was very, very lost. After a while, Peter found a door in a wall. A mouse was running in and out underneath, carrying peas and beans to her family. Peter asked her the way to the gate, but she had such a large pea in her mouth, she couldn't answer him. Peter set off across the garden and came to a pond where a white cat was staring at some goldfish. She sat very, very still. Peter thought it best to keep going. He had heard some very alarming things about cats. Do they chase rabbits? They sure do. Then suddenly, quite close to him, Peter heard a sound. Scratch, 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 scratch. He scuttled underneath the bushes. What could it be? But as nothing happened, he crept out. There was Mr. McGregor hoeing onions, and just beyond him was the gate. That was his way out. Very quietly, Peter jumped down and started to run as fast as he could. He slipped underneath the gate and was safe at last. Phew, good thing. Mr. McGregor soon found Peter's blue jacket and his shoes. He hung them on his scarecrow to frighten away the blackbirds. I'll bet Peter was missing his jacket. Peter didn't stop running until he was safely home. He was so tired that he flopped down on the sandy ground and closed his eyes. And there's Mrs. Rabbit. Poor Peter was not feeling very well during that evening. Mrs. Rabbit put him down to bed and made some chamomile tea. But Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail had bread and milk and delicious blackberries for supper. But Peter was a naughty bunny, and he didn't listen, and he went to bed early, where his sisters all got treats. And that is the end. This is called The Tale of Peter Rabbit, and I thought that maybe you would like to make your own rabbit. Isn't he cute? Guess what he's made out of? Yes, he is. He's made out of a toilet paper roll, I'll put him here. Okay, and then I'm going to show you what you're going to need. You're going to have to get mom or dad or big brother or sister to help you with some of this. You need about 2.5 inches across circle for his head. You need a 4.5 inch rectangle that gets curved for his shirt. You need 2 ears, and you know our trick. If you fold that square in half and you make one cut, you'll have 2 ears. And you can use a cottontail for his tail, or you can cut one out of paper, okay? So let me show you what we're gonna do. Here he is again. All right, I'm gonna take my tube, put him back here. I'm gonna take my tube, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I might use tape for this, or I can use my glue stick. The first thing I'm gonna do is color in that blue rectangle that's been curved to make Peter Rabbit's shirt. Okay, so once you've colored it in, then you draw 3 lines on each side, and they are his bunny claws. So I'm going to put him together just like this. There's his shirt, okay? Now that circle, that round circle you cut, you're going to draw 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, and some whiskers, and that becomes Peter's face. Okay? And I'm going to turn that over, and on the back, I'm going to tape on or glue on his, can you see that? His bunny ears that I have colored brown and pink in the center. All right, so here's Peter's face with his bunny ears. Now I'm going to glue that right on there, right on top of his shirt, glue or tape if you don't have the glue. Okay, and I'm going to put his face right at the top of his shirt. And there he is. But what's he missing? He doesn't have his tail on. So I can either glue the cotton ball, or if you don't have a cotton ball, you can put on a cottontail that you've cut out yourself. And there is your Peter Rabbit. If you have blue paper, you can cut that out for his shirt. I hope you like that, and I hope you like the story, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.